Welcome back to the Expensive Coins History channel, coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of one of the most underappreciated yet potentially valuable coins in modern American numismatics, the 1985 P. Jefferson nickel. While millions were minted and they continue to circulate today, certain examples from this year have sold for thousands of dollars at auction.in. This video we'll explore the full history, design elements, minting process, rarity factors, market trends, and what exactly makes a seemingly ordinary 1985 P nickel worth a small fortune in 2025. Let's unlock the mystery behind this 5-cent coin. To understand the value and uniqueness of the 1985 P Jefferson nickel, we must first go back to the origin of the Jefferson nickel itself. This coin was introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and it was designed to honor the third President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson. The obverse features his left-facing profile, while the reverse displays his iconic home, Monticello, located in Virginia. The design was created by Felix Schlag, a German-American sculptor whose submission won a national design competition. The Jefferson nickel remained relatively unchanged for decades, with only minor modifications occurring until a major redesign in 2006. In 1985, the United States was producing nickels at 3 mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint, for that year, struck an enormous number of Jefferson nickels, over 647 million, bearing the P mint mark. Despite this high mintage, the true value of this coin lies not in its abundance, but in its condition and specific attributes that only a small number of coins possess. The 1985 P. Jefferson nickel retains the classic design elements that had been in use for nearly 5 decades. The obverse presents a profile portrait of Thomas Jefferson facing left. The words, "In God We Trust," appear along the left edge of the coin, while "Liberty" and the year 1985 appear on the right, followed by a small P mint mark signifying the Philadelphia Mint. The reverse features the neoclassical image of Monticello, Jefferson's home. Above the dome, the Latin phrase "E pluribus unum" is inscribed. Below the building, you'll find the word Monticello, followed by 5 cents and then United States of America. The coin is made of a cupronickel composition, 75% copper and 25% nickel. It weighs 5 grams and measures 21.2 millimeters in diameter. Although over 500 million 1985 P nickels were produced, the overall quality of the strike that year was inconsistent. In particular, many of the nickels struck at the Philadelphia Mint lacked sharp details on the reverse, especially on the steps of Monticello. This brings us to an important concept in Jefferson nickel collecting: full steps. Collectors use the term full steps to describe coins where all 5 or 6 steps leading up to Monticello are sharply defined, without interruptions, flattening, or blurring due to weak strikes or worn dies. These full steps nickels are far scarcer than their more common counterparts. The difficulty in producing sharp, consistent strikes in 1985 resulted in very few coins qualifying as full steps. Combine that with the passage of time, circulation wear, and damage, and it becomes clear why high-grade full steps examples are rare and desirable. Grading is everything when it comes to coin value. The Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70, is used to determine a coin's condition. For modern nickels like the 1985 P, coins graded MS-60 and above are considered mint state, meaning they show no signs of circulation. However, the vast majority of 1985 P nickels found today are in circulated condition, typically grading between VF20 and 55 Australian dollars. These hold little to no premium above face value. But once you reach MS-65 and higher, the value begins to rise dramatically. Coins with the coveted full steps designation graded MS-65, MS-66, or MS-67 are incredibly rare and often command high prices. An MS-67 full steps coin can sell for thousands of dollars. There are only a limited number of known examples in this grade, and the demand among registry set collectors pushes prices higher. Additionally, eye appeal plays a huge role in value. Toning, or natural coloration due to oxidation, can either enhance or reduce a coin's desirability. A coin with beautiful rainbow toning, luster, and no distracting marks can be worth significantly more than an untoned coin in the same technical grade. Fast forward to the present year, 2025. The 1985 P. Jefferson nickel remains a hot topic among collectors of modern U.S. coinage. Circulated examples are still found in pocket change and roll hunts, but unless they are in exceptionally pristine condition, they are typically worth just 5 cents. Uncirculated examples in the lower mint state grades, such as MS-60 to MS-64, are relatively common and may sell for a few dollars each. Once you reach MS-65, prices increase to around $10 to $15, depending on the coin's eye appeal and strike. The real standout values are reserved for coins with the full steps designation. In 2025, an MS-65 full steps 1985 P nickel typically sells for between $25 and $60. MS-66 full steps examples can sell for several $100s. An MS-67 full steps with exceptional toning and flawless surfaces can command prices exceeding $4,000. Although only a handful of such coins have ever received that top grade, the continued interest in registry sets and modern coin collecting makes these rare nickels incredibly competitive and sought after. If you're a collector looking to find valuable examples of the 1985 P. Jefferson nickel, here are some helpful tips. Search an original bank rolls, unopened or unsearched nickel. Rolls from the 1980s can still be found through dealers, estate sales, or online auctions. These may contain untouched, uncirculated coins. Use magnification. Examine Monticello under a 5x or 10x magnifier. Look for complete, uninterrupted steps. Full steps should display at least 5 visible, well-defined lines. Check for toning. Natural, attractive toning can increase a coin's value. Blues, purples, golds, and reds can all enhance visual appeal. Consider professional grading. If you believe you have a full steps coin in MS-65 condition or better, consider submitting it to a professional grading service. A high grade and certification can dramatically increase resale value. Store properly. Avoid PVC holders, humidity, and direct sunlight. Use archival safe flips or slabs to protect the coin surfaces over time. The 1985 P. Jefferson nickel is a perfect example of how numismatics turns everyday items into objects of beauty, history, and surprising value. What many consider pocket change may, in rare cases, be a 4-figure coin waiting to be discovered. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, keep your eyes open. That 5-cent coin in your change jar might be far more valuable than you think. Our deep dive into one of the most intriguing modern American coins, the 2000 Philadelphia minted Washington quarter. At first glance, this coin may appear ordinary. After all, it's a quarter from a year not far in the past. Yet, this seemingly commonplace piece conceals a fascinating world of history, variety, rarity, and value that attracts collectors and investors alike. We'll explore everything you need to know about the 2000 P. Washington quarter, from its design and production to its rarest varieties and era coins, finishing with a detailed analysis of its current market value in 2025. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a casual coin enthusiast, this video will provide you with valuable insights into this iconic coin. So let's get started. The year 2000 was the second full year of the United States Mint's 50 State Quarters program, a series designed to honor all 50 states with unique reverse designs. This program ran from 1999 to 2008 and reinvigorated interest in quarter collecting nationwide. The Philadelphia Mint, denoted by the P Mint mark on the coin's obverse, produced billions of quarters in 2000. These coins were struck alongside those from the Denver Mint, D Mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint, which mainly produced proof coins for collectors. Each of the 5 states honored in 2000 had a distinct reverse design. Massachusetts, featuring the Minuteman statue, symbolizing the American Revolution. Maryland, depicting the Maryland State House, the country's oldest state capitol building still in legislative use. South Carolina, celebrating the state's palmetto tree and the first state to ratify the Constitution. New Hampshire, showcasing the Old Man of the Mountain Rock Formation, an iconic but now collapsed natural monument. Virginia, featuring the 3 ships that brought the first English settlers to Jamestown in 1607. The sheer number of these quarters minted, totaling over 1.5 billion in Philadelphia alone, means that most circulated coins are relatively common. However, the story does not end there. The 2000 P Washington quarter continues the long-standing tradition of John Flanagan obverse design, first introduced in 1932. George Washington's profile is rendered with remarkable detail, wearing a ribbon in his hair, set against a field of reeded edges. The coin's physical specifications remain consistent with quarters minted since 1965. Diameter, 24.26 mm. Thickness, 1.75 mm. Weight, 5.67 grams. Composition: outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a core of pure copper. The reverse side features a finely detailed, state-specific design, which makes these quarters not just currency but miniature pieces of art and history. Philadelphia Mint production numbers for 2000 quarters were substantial. For example, the Massachusetts quarter had a mintage of approximately 183 million coins in Philadelphia alone, while Maryland's was around 190 million. These figures confirm that the 2000 P quarters were produced in huge quantities, primarily intended for everyday circulation. Yet, the mass production creates a paradox. The coin is common overall, but particular states and specific minting conditions contribute to rarity within the series. Collector demand focuses heavily on coins in near-perfect condition or those with unique errors. When assessing any coin's value, condition plays a pivotal role. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, to perfect mint state, MS70. The vast majority of 2000 P quarters in circulation grade below MS60, meaning they show signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. In contrast, uncirculated or mint state coins, those without circulation damage, can command premiums. For the 2000 P quarters, grades of MS65 and above become significantly more valuable. Mint state grades break down as follows: MS60 to MS63, uncirculated with minor imperfections, often worth just above face value. MS64 to MS65, slightly better condition, with good eye appeal and minimal marks. Prices begin to rise notably here. MS66 to MS67, coins with excellent luster and very few flaws. These attract serious collectors. MS68 to MS69, near-perfect coins with exceptional eye appeal. These can fetch prices multiple times their face value. MS70, a flawless coin, almost never found in circulation, extremely rare and valuable. Though Philadelphia minted large quantities across all 5 states, some quarters have proven rarer or more sought after, especially in higher grades. Massachusetts, known for the lowest mintage among the 2000 P quarters. Massachusetts coins in MS68 and above are particularly prized. Only a handful have been graded MS69 or higher, with these commanding significant premiums at auction. Maryland, while Maryland had a higher mintage, pristine examples in MS67 or MS68 can still fetch hundreds of dollars. South Carolina, considered the most sought after for its design and limited high-grade specimens. South Carolina quarters in MS-69 have sold for several $1,000s, New Hampshire and Virginia. Both are more common but still command premiums in high grades, with well-preserved specimens valued in the hundreds of dollars. The combination of state design and condition creates an interesting dynamic where coins from the same year and mint can vary drastically in value. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 2000 P Washington quarter is the existence of rare error coins. These mint errors can dramatically increase a coin's value and appeal. Off-center strikes, where the coin design is noticeably shifted from the center, sometimes exposing a large blank portion of the planchet. Double dies, coins that display doubling of design elements, often visible in the date or lettering. Mule coins, perhaps the rarest and most famous error associated with the 2000 P quarter is the mule coin, where the obverse is a Washington quarter but the reverse is a Sacagawea dollar, struck on a dollar coin planchet. Only a few of these exist, and they have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Overstrikes and die clashes. Some quarters have been found overstruck on other coins or show die clashes, marks caused when dies strike each other without a planchet in between. Such error coins are prized for their uniqueness and often fetch remarkable prices, far exceeding those of regular quarters, even in high grades. As of 2025, the 2000 P Washington quarter maintains a solid collector interest, especially among those specializing in state quarters and error coins. Circulated 2000 P quarters remain at or near face value. Uncirculated coins graded MS-65 generally sell between $5 and $50 depending on the state. Coins graded MS-67 and higher can range from $100 to several $100s. For instance, South Carolina and Massachusetts quarters in MS-68 or MS-69 can command prices from $1,000 to over $3,000. Error coins, particularly the mule and major off-center strikes, can fetch prices from tens of thousands to upwards of $150,000 or more, depending on condition and provenance. The market for these coins is buoyed by both numismatic interest and investors seeking tangible assets with historical significance. For collectors interested in the 2000 P Washington quarter, a few strategic approaches will help maximize success. Examine coins closely for eye appeal, strike quality, and luster. Coins with natural, bright surfaces are more valuable. Seek out certified coins from reputable grading services. This provides buyer confidence and often enhances value. Pay attention to state-specific rarity and consider focusing on Massachusetts and South Carolina quarters if aiming for higher potential returns. Keep an eye out for mint errors or unusual varieties. These can be true treasures. Stay informed about auction results and market trends as values fluctuate over time. The 2000 P Washington quarter represents more than just pocket change. It embodies a snapshot of American history, craftsmanship, and numismatic intrigue. Whether you collect for fun, profit, or preservation, this coin offers an opportunity to connect with a rich heritage while exploring a fascinating world of coin collecting. The 1982 P. Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it's just another 5-cent piece, but beneath that familiar design lies a history rich with economic shifts, minting quirks, and collector intrigue. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why some examples of this common-looking coin can fetch thousands of dollars in the current 2025 coin market. The Jefferson nickel was introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, which had become outdated and difficult to strike. Designed by Felix Schlag, the obverse features a left-facing profile of Thomas Jefferson, while the reverse depicts his Virginia estate, Monticello. The design remained largely unchanged until the early 2000s, giving the series decades of consistency. But even within that long run, some years stand out, and one of those years is 1982. The early 1980s were a turbulent time for the U.S. economy. Inflation was high, metal prices were fluctuating, and the U.S. Mint was under pressure to cut production costs. Amidst these conditions, the Mint made a few notable changes, and the 1982 coins reflect those adjustments in subtle but significant ways. The 1982 P. Jefferson nickel was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which had only recently begun including a mint mark on its coinage. Prior to 1980, coins from Philadelphia typically bore no mint mark, but that changed in 1980 when the P mint mark was introduced to the obverse of Jefferson nickels. So by 1982, the P mint mark was still relatively new, and the coin marked only the third year of its appearance on the nickel. In terms of production numbers, the Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of these coins. On the surface, this high mintage would suggest the coin is very common, and for the most part, it is. Circulated examples are plentiful, and worn specimens can still be found in pocket change to this day. However, as always in numismatics, the real story is in the details. And this is where things get very interesting. The 1982 P. Jefferson nickel has a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a metallic structure that gives it a silver-gray appearance. It weighs 5 grams and measures 21.2 millimeters in diameter, consistent with other nickels of the modern era, while the obverse features Jefferson's portrait and the P mint mark to the right of the bust. The reverse continues to showcase Monticello, his historic estate. But what collectors often examine most closely is the area known as the steps, specifically, the steps at the base of Monticello on the reverse side. Why? Because those steps can significantly impact the value of this coin, as we'll soon see. Among Jefferson nickels, there is a special designation that can dramatically increase a coin's desirability and value, and that is the full steps designation. This refers to the visibility and completeness of the horizontal steps leading up to Monticello. In ideal minting conditions, 5 or 6 full, distinct steps are visible. However, due to striking inconsistencies, worn dies, or rushed production, many coins leave the mint with blurred or incomplete steps. The 1982 P is particularly notorious for weak strikes, which makes full steps examples from this year especially rare. Finding a 1982 P Jefferson nickel with sharp full steps is like finding a needle in a haystack. These coins are often found in rolls that were never opened or in carefully preserved mint state conditions. When authenticated and graded, such examples become highly coveted among Jefferson nickel specialists. When evaluating a 1982 P Jefferson nickel, grading is everything. Coins are typically graded on the Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. A coin in poor condition would grade at 1, while a flawless, uncirculated coin could score a 70. Most 1982 P nickels in circulation today fall somewhere in the good to very fine range. These are worn, used coins with little collector value beyond their 5-cent face. However, if your coin has minimal wear, a strong strike, and good luster, it might be worth submitting for professional grading. Mint state grades, especially MS 65 and above, start to command significant premiums. Combine that with full steps, and you're potentially looking at a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let's talk about the 2025 market. As of this year, the average circulated 1982 P Jefferson nickel, one that's been used in commerce and shows visible wear, is still worth only its face value of 5 cents. These coins are abundant, easy to find, and hold no particular rarity in worn condition, but in mint state, values rise rapidly. A coin graded MS 63 might be worth a few dollars to a collector looking to complete a year set. In MS 65, values can push up toward the $20 to $40 range. Go a step further to MS 66, and the price can exceed $100. Now, full steps examples are a completely different story. An MS-66 full steps nickel from 1982 with a P mint mark can sell for several $100s. And in grades like MS-67 with full steps, the coin becomes extremely rare. There have been examples in this category selling for several $1,000s at auction. In some cases, particularly beautifully struck coins with attractive toning and full steps have achieved prices over $10,000. The 2025 market continues to reward high-quality coins with strong strike characteristics, especially in series like the Jefferson nickel, where quality is difficult to find. So why is this coin important? The 1982 P nickel represents a turning point in modern minting. It's from a transitional period, when mint mark practices were changing, when coinage quality was under stress, and when certain design features were being unintentionally lost due to production demands. Collectors value the 1982 P not because it is inherently rare in numbers, but because truly exceptional examples are so hard to come by. The combination of a high mintage and low quality control makes full step specimens all the more special. And that's what fuels demand. Search coin rolls, bank-wrapped rolls or old collections can still yield uncirculated 1982 P nickels. Use magnification. Always check the steps on Monticello with a jeweler's loupe or microscope. Don't clean your coins, even if it looks dirty. Cleaning a coin will destroy its value. Know when to grade. Only coins that appear in mint state with potential full steps detail are worth sending in for certification. Store carefully. If you find a strong example, protect it in a 2x2 holder or coin. Flip to prevent damage. The 1982 P Jefferson nickel may look like just another coin, but its story, strike quality, and collector rarity make it one of the most fascinating pieces from the modern era of U.S. coinage. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a beginner sorting through pocket change, it's coins like this that make the hobby exciting, because sometimes, the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight. The 2004 P Washington Quarter. You might think it's just another ordinary piece of loose change, but in reality, this quarter has an intriguing story filled with history, hidden value, and a few secrets that could make some versions of it worth a surprising amount of money today in 2025. So, whether you're a casual collector, a seasoned numismatist, or simply someone who loves the thrill of coin hunting, stick around, because this is one episode you won't want to miss. The 2004 P Washington Quarter is a part of the larger 50-state quarters program, one of the most ambitious and popular coin initiatives ever introduced by the United States Mint. Running from 1999 through 2008, this program featured 5 new reverse designs every year, each one celebrating a different state in the order they joined the Union. In 2004, the 5 states honored were Michigan, Florida, Texas, Iowa, and Wisconsin. While the reverse design changed to reflect each individual state, the obverse of the coin remained consistent across the series. It features the classic portrait of George Washington, originally sculpted by John Flanagan and first used on the quarter in 1932. The obverse also displays the words United States of America, Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the denomination of $quarter. What distinguishes the Philadelphia minted version of this coin is the presence of the capital letter P just to the right of Washington's ponytail, indicating that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The 2004 quarters were minted in massive quantities to meet the demands of circulation and the growing interest of collectors during the state quarter craze. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of each state's quarter, making most of them extremely common today. However, the true value lies not just in the quantity, but in the condition, rarity of errors, and uniqueness of each individual piece. The 2004 P quarter, like other quarters in the modern clad series, is composed of a copper core bonded to outer layers of copper nickel. The result is a coin that weighs approximately 5.67 grams and measures 24.26 millimeters in diameter. It has a reeded edge, a standard feature on most U.S. quarters since the late 1700s. Although these quarters are not made of silver, and thus do not have intrinsic metal value above face in terms of bullion, their numismatic value can far exceed 25 cents depending on a few critical factors we'll talk about next. In general, standard 2004 P quarters are very common in circulated condition. However, not all coins are created equal. Certain factors contribute to a coin's rarity and, in turn, its value. These include its state design, grade, minting errors, and collector demand. For example, a 2004 P Florida quarter in average circulated condition is worth only face value. But the same coin in mint state condition, graded MS-67 or higher, can command several dollars. High-grade coins are much harder to come by, as they need to be virtually flawless with full luster and sharp details. The real excitement, however, comes from the existence of rare and dramatic mint errors. Although many collectors associate the famous extra leaf variety with the Denver Mint version of the 2004 Wisconsin quarter, the Philadelphia Mint is not without its rarities. Error types that have emerged from the 2004 P quarters include die clashes, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, and coins struck on the wrong planchets. These anomalies are not only rare, but they are also highly sought after by serious collectors. For instance, a die clash error occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between. This can leave ghost-like images of one side of the coin on the other. If a 2004 P quarter shows clear signs of such a clash, especially in mint state, it can fetch hundreds of dollars or more at auction. Another rare error is a quarter struck on a nickel planchet. This causes the coin to be lighter, smaller, and have a noticeably different appearance. These mistakes are rare because modern quality control systems are tight, but mistakes do happen, and those coins that slip through can become valuable collectibles. In 2025, the general market for modern state quarters remains stable, with most circulated coins trading at or near face value. However, condition is everything when it comes to collectible value. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with 70 representing a perfect, flawless coin. A 2004 P quarter in low circulated grades, from very fine to about uncirculated, will likely not bring more than its face value. However, once you enter the mint state range, values begin to climb. A coin graded MS-63 might sell for around $1, while MS-65 examples can range between $2 to $5. In grades of MS-67 and above, prices jump significantly. An MS-67 coin can be worth between $15 and $40 depending on demand and the specific state design. Only a small percentage of coins minted reach these grades, and fewer still survive in that condition in the hands of collectors. The highest value comes from certified coins. If your coin has been professionally graded by PCGS or NGC and assigned a high grade or verified error designation, its value could skyrocket. In recent years, some rare high-grade error coins have sold for several $100s or more. First, struck through errors. This happens when grease or foreign materials obscure part of the die, leaving certain details of the coin faint or missing. These types of errors can make coins unique and increase their desirability. Second, off-center strikes. This occurs when the die strikes the planchet improperly aligned, creating a quarter with part of the design missing and blank space on one side. The more off-center, the rarer and more valuable the coin. Third, missing clad layer errors. This rare error occurs when the outer nickel layer is missing on one side of the coin, revealing the copper core beneath. These coins have a distinct red-brown color and a lower weight, making them easy to spot with a trained eye or a good scale. And finally, double strikes and multiple strike errors. These coins are struck more than once, resulting in doubled images or overlapping features. Depending on the severity, such coins can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars if well preserved. So, is your 2004 P quarter worth a lot of money? If it's a standard circulated coin without any errors, probably not. But if it's in pristine mint state condition, or shows signs of a rare and dramatic error, it could be worth many times its face value. The key is knowing what to look for and how to evaluate it properly. First, always check for visual anomalies. Use a magnifying glass and inspect both sides carefully. Look for doubling, missing elements, color changes, or anything that looks unusual. Second, weigh your coin. A standard 2004 quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. Anything significantly lighter or heavier might indicate an error. Third, consider sending your coin to a professional grading service if you believe it may have substantial value. Certified coins sell for more and are taken more seriously by collectors. Lastly, stay updated on the market. Coin values fluctuate based on collector demand, auction results, and the economy. What may be common today could become rare tomorrow as supplies dwindle. Thank you for joining us today as we uncovered the full story behind the 2004 P Washington quarter. It's more than just a piece of change, it's a slice of American history, and in some cases, it could be a hidden gem. Whether you're collecting for fun, profit, or passion, every coin has a story. So next time you get change back at the store, take a closer look. You never know what treasure might be hiding right in the palm of your hand. The 1966 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark. Often overlooked by casual collectors due to its common appearance, this coin actually holds a fascinating story of historical significance, rarity factors, and surprising market value in 2025. Whether you are a seasoned collector, an investor, or simply curious about American coinage, stay tuned as we uncover everything you need to know about the 1966 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, to commemorate Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence. Designed by Felix Schlag, the nickel features a dignified portrait of Jefferson on the obverse and his iconic Monticello estate on the reverse, representing his lasting legacy. Fast forward to the mid-1960s, the United States was experiencing a significant coin shortage caused by rising metal prices and hoarding. To combat this, the U.S. Mint suspended mint marks on all coins from 1965 through 1967 in an effort to discourage collectors from removing coins from circulation. As a result, the 1966 Jefferson nickel lacks the usual P or D mint marks that normally identify Philadelphia or Denver mint production. This mint mark removal makes the 1966 nickel somewhat unique in American coinage history, as collectors must now rely on other factors such as die varieties and strike quality to distinguish rarities. Additionally, 1966 was the year Felix Schlag's initials, FS, were added beneath Jefferson's portrait, a detail that appeared for the first time this year and continues to the present day. The 1966 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel was minted in staggering quantities. The Philadelphia Mint alone produced over 156 million circulation strikes. This massive production means that in general, the 1966 nickel is one of the more common dates within the Jefferson nickel series, and as such, most specimens found in pocket change or coin rolls hold minimal monetary value beyond their face value. However, among the vast production numbers, certain subsets and grades of this coin have attracted considerable attention for their relative rarity and collectible appeal. These include special mint set coins and the elusive full steps variety, which we will explore in detail shortly. From 1965 to 1967, the U.S. Mint discontinued the traditional proof coin sets. Instead, the mint issued what are known as special mint sets, or SMS. These coins were struck with more care than regular circulation coins, on specially polished dies and planchets, giving them a noticeably sharper and satin-like appearance. Though they are not technically proof coins, the 1966 SMS Jefferson nickel is prized among collectors for this superior finish. The mintage of SMS nickels in 1966 was around 2.26 million, far less than the hundreds of millions of circulation strikes. Because of the lower production and higher quality, SMS nickels from 1966 command premiums, especially in high grades, with some SMS specimens graded MS-67 and MS-68 being particularly valuable. SMS coins from this year may also exhibit cameo or deep cameo contrast, where the frosted devices contrast sharply with mirror-like fields, which further enhances desirability and value. One of the most important and valuable attributes to look for in a 1966 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is the full steps designation. This refers to the 5 distinct horizontal steps on the reverse side of the coin beneath Monticello. When these steps are fully visible and sharply struck, the coin is classified as having full steps. The reason this designation is significant is due to the minting process and die wear. In 1966, the dies used to strike nickels tended to wear down quickly, often resulting in incomplete or partially struck steps. Consequently, coins showing fully struck steps are far less common and are considered a key rarity for this date. Collectors prize full steps nickels because they represent an early die state with better strike quality, and they are a must-have for specialized Jefferson nickel collections. Certified full steps examples graded in high condition, such as MS-64, MS-65, or better, can command prices exponentially higher than typical circulation strikes. The market value of the 1966 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel varies widely depending on condition, designation, and whether it is a circulation strike, SMS, or full steps coin, circulation strikes. Most 1966 no-mint mark nickels in average circulated condition remain close to face value or slightly above, often valued at about 5 to 25 cents. Depending on wear. Coins graded mint state 60 through 63 typically sell for $1 to $3 at most, reflecting their abundance. However, mint state coins graded 64 and above can fetch $5 to $20, especially if they display attractive eye appeal and minimal marks. Full steps varieties. The real value driver for this date is the full steps designation. High-grade MS-64 full steps nickels can fetch prices starting around $1,200 to $1,500. Coins graded MS-65 with full steps can reach from $5,000 to over $11,000 depending on their eye appeal and provenance. The scarcity of full steps coins in the highest grades makes them extremely sought after in auctions and private sales. Special mint set nickels, 1966 SMS nickels command intermediate values. Lower grade SMS examples may be worth $3 to $10, while the finest quality SMS coins graded MS-67 or MS-68, especially those exhibiting cameo or deep cameo contrast, may sell for several $1,000s. Deep cameo SMS nickels from 1966 have sold for as much as $6,000 or more at auction in recent years. Several factors influence the rarity and worth of the 1966 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel. Condition. Higher grades command exponentially higher prices, with gem and near-perfect coins being especially rare. This is a major rarity factor for this date and condition. Special mint set status. SMS coins are scarcer and of better quality than regular strikes, eye appeal, brightness, luster, and absence of marks significantly increase collector demand. Certification. coins authenticated and graded by reputable third-party services such as PCGS or NGC achieve better prices. If you are hunting for valuable 1966 no-mint mark Jefferson nickels, here are some practical tips. Examine the steps beneath Monticello carefully with a loupe or microscope to verify full steps. Look for coins with original, brilliant surfaces. Dull or cleaned coins lose value. Seek out special mint sets, especially those with cameo contrast. Get coins professionally graded to ensure authenticity and to maximize sale potential. Be wary of counterfeit or altered coins, as high-value varieties are often targeted by forgers. The 1966 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is a coin with a rich historical background, impressive mintage figures, but hidden pockets of rarity that make it compelling for collectors and investors alike. While most specimens remain common and modest in value, the full steps variety and high-grade special mint sets offer opportunities for significant returns, with top examples selling for thousands of dollars in 2025. Whether you're just starting out or are a veteran collector, understanding these nuances allows you to spot hidden treasures in your coin collection or local coin shop. So the next time you hold a 1966 Jefferson nickel, remember, beneath its unassuming surface lies a story of minting history, artistry, and numismatic value waiting to be uncovered. We are focusing on a seemingly common yet fascinating piece of numismatic history, the 1987 Washington quarter minted without a mint mark, known as the Philadelphia strike. Though it may appear ordinary at first glance, this quarter carries a rich story, a legacy of minting practices, and, for the discerning collector, the potential for surprising value. The Washington quarter is one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. First introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday, the quarter quickly became a staple in American currency. The design, featuring a dignified portrait of Washington on the obverse and the majestic eagle on the reverse, has become iconic. By 1987, this classic design had been in continuous production for over 5 decades, evolving subtly over the years. In 1987, the Philadelphia Mint produced the bulk of the quarters without a mint mark, a tradition dating back many decades when coins from Philadelphia did not carry an identifying letter. This makes the 1987 Philadelphia quarter instantly recognizable to collectors and the public alike as the no mint mark variety. That year, hundreds of millions of these coins entered circulation, ensuring their widespread presence across the nation's pockets and cash registers. The 1987 Washington quarter is composed of a copper nickel clad, reflecting the composition standard set in 1965 following the removal of silver from circulation coins. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter. Its reeded edges are consistent with quarters minted since the early 20th century, serving both an anti-counterfeiting purpose and a tactile identification aid. The obverse design, crafted by John Flanagan, showcases Washington's profile facing left, his hair tied with a ribbon, exuding an air of presidential dignity. Surrounding the portrait are inscriptions of Liberty, the year of minting, 1987, and the national motto, In God We Trust. The absence of a mint mark to the right of Washington's ponytail signals its Philadelphia origin. On the reverse side, the familiar bald eagle is depicted with wings partially spread, clutching a bundle of arrows beneath 2 olive branches, symbolizing both readiness and peace. The inscriptions include United States of America, E pluribus unum, and the denomination, $quarter. Despite its classic design and historical significance, the 1987 Philadelphia quarter is overwhelmingly common. With over 500 million coins minted in Philadelphia alone that year, it remains one of the most frequently encountered quarters in circulation today. As such, the average circulated coin holds no significant premium over its face value of 25 cents. However, rarity and value in the coin collecting world are not solely about mintage figures. Condition, mint errors, and special varieties create layers of interest and desirability beyond mere numbers. The condition or grade of a coin is paramount to its value. Coins that have endured the rigors of circulation, showing scratches, wear, or discoloration, are usually worth only their face value or a small premium. Conversely, coins preserved in near-perfect condition, known as uncirculated or mint state, can command much higher prices. The grading scale for coins ranges from poor to perfect mint state 70, with numerous intermediate grades reflecting varying degrees of wear and luster. For the 1987 Philadelphia quarter, circulated coins typically hold no added value. Yet, an uncirculated specimen graded around MS-60 might be worth $1 or $2, reflecting modest collector interest. As the grade improves, the value climbs sharply. MS-65 coins, representing coins with minor imperfections visible only under close inspection, often fetch prices in the range of $15 to $20. Moving up to MS-66 or MS-67, which are high-end uncirculated grades exhibiting nearly flawless surfaces, these quarters become notably scarce and much more desirable. Prices for MS-67 examples can reach several $100s due to their scarcity and demand. Because so many 1987 quarters were minted, only a tiny fraction survive in these top grades. Professional grading services help authenticate and certify these conditions, boosting buyer confidence and often the coin's value. The world of modern coin collecting is especially intrigued by minting errors and unusual varieties. The 1987 Philadelphia quarter has its share of these anomalies, which collectors actively seek. One such error is the broad-struck coin, where the coin is struck outside the retaining collar, causing it to spread wider than normal and lack the typical reeded edges. Broad-struck quarters are relatively rare and often prized for their distinct appearance. Although their market values fluctuate, broad-struck 1987 quarters can command prices upwards of $20, depending on condition. Another sought-after anomaly is the off-center strike, where the coin's design is not perfectly aligned on the planchet. Off-center errors range from minor misalignments, which may be barely noticeable, to dramatic shifts revealing incomplete designs. Values depend on the degree of off-centering, with more extreme examples valued significantly higher. A modest off-center strike might fetch around $50, whereas more extreme misalignments can bring over $100 in collector markets. Additionally, double die errors, though less common on the 1987 quarters, can elevate a coin's worth substantially if the doubling is clear and striking. This error occurs when the coin's design is stamped twice with a slight shift, causing doubled imagery, often noticeable on the lettering or date. Unique varieties such as mated pairs, which occur when two coins are struck simultaneously and align as complementary halves, are extremely rare and command premium prices often in the hundreds of dollars. As we move through 2025, the market for 1987 no-mint Mark Washington quarters remains robust but nuanced. The vast majority of these coins in circulation or in typical condition retain only face value. However, as collector interest in modern quarters continues to grow, especially with increasing awareness of mint state coins and errors, premium prices for well-preserved or unusual examples persist. Mint state coins graded between MS-65 and MS-66 can expect valuations ranging from approximately $15 to $80, depending on eye appeal and surface quality. Coins graded MS-67 or higher become truly rare and valuable, with prices exceeding $100, sometimes approaching or surpassing $300 in the best cases. Error coins such as broad-struck and off-center strikes regularly change hands for $20 to $150, with especially dramatic examples or certified specimens commanding more. This trend reflects a growing collector base interested in modern coins as affordable entry points into numismatics. Combined with a general scarcity of top-grade specimens, the 1987 Philadelphia Washington quarter without a mint mark is a widely available coin with a rich history, solid design heritage, and a subtle but intriguing numismatic profile. For the average person, a 1987 quarter will typically hold no more value than its face worth. But for collectors, especially those who seek coins in mint condition or with mint errors, these quarters offer an accessible and rewarding field of study. If you have a 1987 quarter, consider examining its condition carefully. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to check for wear and possible errors like off-centers or doubling. If you believe your coin is in exceptional condition or possesses an error, having it professionally graded can clarify its value and open doors to collector markets. Ultimately, collecting coins like the 1987 Washington quarter connects us to American history, minting artistry, and the thrill of discovery. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious newcomer, every coin has a story waiting to be told. Thank you for joining this detailed exploration. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more in-depth numismatic insights. Until next time, keep your eyes on the coins and happy collecting.